1:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Niranjan Abhisundara. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that a cabinet subcommittee will be appointed to implement the Singaporean Subana-Jurong urban plan for the development of the Western Province. It has been stated that the public funds provided by the government to kidney patients and elderly persons will be provided continuously without any restriction. Several schools in the southern province temporarily closed due to severe weather conditions. Navy relief teams on high alert for possible flood emergency. Thailand elections, voters deliver stunning win for reform. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that a cabinet subcommittee will be appointed to implement the Singaporean Subana-Jurong urban plan for development of the Western Province. It is hoped to establish a new institute to implement this development plan. The Western Province, which will provide a 50% contribution to the country's economy, will be developed broadly and systematic development plan. He made the remarks while participating at a discussion held with the relevant officials regarding the municipal development plan of the Western Province yesterday. The President has advised officials to submit the development plan for the Eastern Province to the Cabinet. State Finance Minister Anisi Ambatapitiya says that the public funds provided by the government to kidney patients and elderly persons will be provided continuously without any restriction. He made the remark to media after participating in a program held at the Hiowit area yesterday. The beneficiary recipients for the special needy people, kidney patients and elderly have been exceeded 520,000. The welfare beneficiary payments will be given under 3 categories. Schools in several educational zones in the southern province have been temporarily closed due to the prevailing unfavorable weather condition. Many schools have been flooded due to heavy rainfall received by those areas since yesterday. Accordingly, the Morawaka Dediya Zonal Education Office announces that all schools in Morawaka and Kotapala divisions of the Morawaka Educational Zone will remain closed today. In addition, all schools except Uruboka National School and Patwal Junior School in Pasagoda division related to the Morawaka Educational Zone will remain closed owing to the unfavorable weather conditions. Meanwhile, the Munatiana Zonal Education Office notified that schools in the Kithalagama East and Kithalagama West related to the Telikat division will remain closed today. Diyalapet Junior School, Australia Mahavidyalaya, Puravilla Junior School and Paradua Junior School in Akorasa and Malimadi divisions have also been temporarily closed today. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Sri Lanka Navy has deployed relief teams in certain areas in the southern province in order to provide relief and rescue operations if there are any floods due to the heavy rainfall. Accordingly, several relief teams have been sent to Galle, Akorasa, Kotapala, Dagala, Tavalama, Kambarapitiya and Australia areas to ensure a coordinated and effective response, following the directives of the Commander of the Navy, Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira. The Navy has also sent relief teams to Galle and Mathura districts as the floods were caused by the overflow of the Ginganga and Nilbala rivers. These teams have been prepared to assist the affected people with the necessary relief, the Navy said. Moreover, additional Navy relief teams have been kept on standby to be deployed at will to render assistance to the general public if they are being affected by floods, according to the Navy. Deputy Director General of the Mahavali Authority Engineer Nilanta Dhanapala said that although rains have been experienced in the area of the island, considerable rains have not been experienced to the reservoirs in the Mahavali area. Therefore, the water level of the Mahavali Reservoir are at a low level. And that was local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Mr. Mahinda Amaravira says that the government is conducting discussions in many ways to provide concessions to the people in order to reduce their living burden during the next 6-month period. The Minister made the remarks while participating at a meeting to look into the progress of several mushroom projects being cultivated in the Ahaligoda area recently. Measures will be taken to reduce the electricity bill within the next 2 months and to further reduce the prices of fuel and gas as well. He also reiterated that the government has paid attention to provide special allowance for the state employees in addition to their salaries. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, the National Dengue Control Unit has identified 59 emerging areas in 13 districts across the country as high-risk zones for dengue. National Dengue Control Unit states that the number of cases has been increasing steadily and the number of people infected with dengue has increased by 3% last week compared to the week before. According to the Ministry of Health, so far about 30,000 dengue cases have been reported since the beginning of this year, while 20 people have died of dengue. Well, that came to you in Watchlight. And on to the world news. In the headlines, Thai elections, voters deliver stunning win for reform. Dead storm hits Bangladesh and Myanmar coast. Turkey's Erdogan appears to have upper hand after tense night. Thai voters have delivered a stunning verdict in favor of an opposition party that is calling for radical reform of the country's institutions. Early results show move forward exceeding every prediction to win 151 out of the final seats in the lower house. It's now 10 seats ahead of what was the forward front-runner, Pheu Thai, led by ex-Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatра's daughter. Analysts are calling this a political earthquake to represent a significant shift in public opinion. A powerful cyclone has hit the coastlines of Bangladesh and Myanmar after intensifying into equivalent of a Category 5 storm. Cyclone Mocha did not make landfall at the world's largest refugee camp in Cox's Bazar, as earlier feared, but still destroyed hundreds of makeshift shelters at the camp. At least 5 people have been reported dead in Myanmar. No casualties have been reported in Bangladesh so far. By yesterday, the storm had largely passed, and Bangladesh's disaster official Kamrun Hassan said cyclone caused no major damage in his country, but landslides and floods are still hitting the area. Turkey's battle for the presidential looks set to go on to a runoff, with both contenders adamant they have victory in their grasp. After 20 years in power, Recep Tayyip Erdogan stood on a balcony of his party headquarters saying he was convinced he would win another 5. Everything appeared to have fallen into place after his opponent, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, to win. But incomplete results put him behind the president in the first round, and Mr. Erdogan's alliance could also be heading for a majority in parliament. And back to the headlines of the world news. Thailand's elections, voters deliver stunning win for reform. Deadly storm hits Bangladesh and Myanmar coast. Turkey's Erdogan appears to have upper hand after tense night.
Development news.
The Hambantota International Port launched its duty-free complex with the opening of 2 duty-free shops within the port's premises. The complex is designed to grow to the duty-free business, catering to the vessels calling HIP. The first 2 operators set up HIP duty-free complex are Royal Electronics and United Life, both organizations with over 30 years of experience in duty-free trade. That was development news. And on to sports news. Sri Lanka ODI cricket team is getting ready for the World Cup qualification tournament, which is scheduled to commence on the 18th of June in Zimbabwe. Sri Lanka have already been relegated to play in the 10-team qualifier tournament, but finalists will join the 8 automatic qualifiers in the main draw. South Africa is the latest addition to the automatic qualifiers list, and they were able to edge out Ireland to qualify for the direct qualification slot. National Selection Committee headed by Pramod Wickramasinghe has a big challenge to select best squad for the World Qualification Tournament, and that is their first task. That was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Janasakti Life announced the launch of Dream Saver, the latest addition to their insurance portfolio, with a novel savings solution offering high-yield savings. This innovative savings solution offers customers the opportunity to invest strategically in medium or long-term investments with high returns. Dream Saver is a single premium annuity product that provides an attractive above-the-market dividend rate with an annual guaranteed rate and an inbuilt life and accidental death cover. That was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of...
For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC. Imagine the possibilities.
District Secretary Shanti Veerasinghe says that programs of agricultural, fisheries and animal husbandry will be implemented in the Galle district under the Rural Economic Development Program. Accordingly, 70 new entrepreneurs will be empowered on the commercial level.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report.
Met departments say that showers and showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and the Galle and Mathura districts. Strong winds about 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the island. That was the weather report. And back to the headlines of the news. President Wickremesinghe says that a cabinet subcommittee will be appointed to implement the Singaporean Subana Joran urban plan for the development of the Western Province. It has been stated that the public funds provided by the government to kidney patients and elderly persons will be provided continuously without any restriction. Several schools in Southern Province temporarily closed due to severe weather conditions. Navy relief teams on high alert for possible flood emergency. And in world news, Thai elections, voters deliver stunning win for reform. And with that, we end the afternoon's news broadcast.